welcome to my little corner. So I didn't upload a video last Monday because last week me and my husband went on a road trip to California, and I came back on Sunday, and then I was so tired on Sunday. I did nothing all day. I was just laying down. I went to sleep super early because I was super tired. And then Monday came and I had nothing prepared. So here's a video Thursday, and let's hope that that does not happen again. So I'm very sorry about that, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So we left Vegas on Tuesday, March 14th at maybe 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and we arrived there at like midnight. It was super late. We stayed at a sister's house, and as soon as we arrived, we just went straight to sleep. It was late and we were so tired. So my husband spent most of his life in California, and he has so many memories there, and that's one of the reasons why he wanted to go. He wanted to take me there. So the very next day we just went around Vallejo, and he was just showing me everything. And one of the best things about California is how green everything is. The hills, the mountains, everything was so green and it looked so good. So after driving around and showing me Vallejo, and that was the place he used to live before he moved to Vegas, and it is a very nice place. Then for lunch we went to a Chinese restaurant called Annie's Panda, and this was one of his favorite restaurants when he lived there, and it's just a Chinese restaurant with the typical Chinese food, and the food was great. After lunch, we went to a place called Scandia, and we played mini golf, and it was my first time ever playing mini golf, and I was super excited. We played mini golf and it was super fun. I had a great time, but what I haven't told you yet, before this trip, I caught a cold. I was kind of sick, but I still went on the road trip. But the problem is, that day it was so cold. It wasn't as cold before, but when we were playing mini golf, it was just suddenly so cold, and I have a hard time dealing with cold. Like I get cold very easily. I was already sick. I was blowing my nose and I was coughing and all that. I started to feel even worse. My body started hurting, like every part of my body, like my muscles were hurting, and I was sleepy. I felt tired. We went home and I just had to rest. So basically I got the flu, and I slept the rest of the day and all night. But fortunately, the very next day I woke up and I felt so much better. And because I felt so much better that day was the day we went to San Francisco, and it was so awesome. The first place we went to was the Golden Gate Bridge. Of course, we had to park and we had to walk on the Golden Gate Bridge, and it was so good, except that it was cold and it was very windy and it was very foggy, so the fog kept covering the bridge, and we were trying to take pictures, but then the fog would cover the bridge and then you couldn't see the bridge in the pictures. So after the bridge, we went inside San Francisco. So San Francisco was very colorful, very unique, very unique. There's every building was different from each other. Like there was no same building. Everything was different. Everything was different colors, and everything was very tall. And then there was a lot of steep hills and then steep downhills. Parking was almost impossible. I don't know how people are able to park in San Francisco, but everything was just so beautiful and it was just so different from everything. So that's why I enjoyed it so much. We wanted to go to Chinatown. We did go to Chinatown. We were driving around. We wanted to park. We could not find a parking spot. Chinatown is huge in San Francisco. You don't know where it starts. You don't know where it ends. And we just couldn't find a parking spot. And after a long time, we just gave up and we were like, you know what? Never mind this. Let's go somewhere else because this is getting stressing now. So we went to this Korean market, but it turned out to be way smaller than we thought. And there wasn't a lot of things in it. So after the Korean market, my husband was like, hey, you want to go to some Portuguese bakery or find some Portuguese food? We went to this cafe in San Francisco called Cafe St. George. We both ate pastel de nata, which is an egg custard, like an egg pie thing. And we are very famous for it, but it was super tiny. And then we also ate tostas mistas, and that is a grilled sandwich with ham and cheese. And it is very good, and I really enjoyed it. We also drank hot chocolate, but the hot chocolate was really bad. So after eating, we went to Pier 39, and that might have been my favorite place. From all the places we went to, that was probably my favorite place. It's a pier where you see a lot of boats, but as you know, I play Pokemon Go, and San Francisco, it's insane for Pokemon Go. And then at Pier 39, of course, there were a lot of water Pokemon, and that made me so excited because Vegas is a desert and we don't really get water Pokemon, almost never, so it was very nice. Anyway, besides the Pokemon, everything was so beautiful there. There were a lot of stores, souvenir stores, and some stores there sold all kinds of chocolates, and I found some of my favorite chocolates. So basically, we just spent all afternoon going around Pier 39. It was so beautiful. We also saw some seals. There was a place with a lot of seals. They were all on top of each other and they were so cute. So after Pier 39, we just went back home. We passed by so many bridges. There's like so many bridges in San Francisco, and they're all so beautiful. After Pier 39, we went back to Vallejo and we had dinner at this restaurant called Princess Garden. And the reason why we went there is because that was my husband's first job ever, and he was super excited to take me there. And after that, we just went home and relaxed because we were so tired from all our daily adventures. The next day, me and my husband and his sister went on a big adventure to find me some Portuguese food, Portuguese snacks, anything that's Portuguese, because I was talking to them about how much I miss my food. We went to this Portuguese bakery and we found a lot of pastries and food from Portugal. And after that, we went to a European market which had a lot of snacks and food from different countries in Europe. And I did find my chocolates again, and his sister was very kind and she offered to pay for everything I wanted in the store. After our adventures in the morning, we went back home to have lunch, and then in the afternoon we traveled again. We found a place called Kingstone bookstore and they sold K-pop albums in there, and I was so excited. I just wanted them all, but they were so expensive. But because that was a special moment and we drove like an hour or more to get there, so I got me one K-pop album, and that is Wings by BTS. After that, we just went back home. We just hung around with the family. We played video games, and then we all had dinner together, and then we watched a movie called Hacksaw Ridge, and it was really good. March 18th was our very last day in California, and we just decided to stay home because we were going to drive back home later that day. So we just wanted to refill all of our energy, and we didn't want to go drive anywhere because we were gonna drive for a very long time later. So we just decided to relax at home. We all played Monopoly, so that was fun. We played video games, and yeah, we just relaxed and we just played around with the family, and that was still fun. I still enjoyed it. And then we still went to sleep, but then at 6 a.m. we woke up and we went back home. Again, it was a 8 to 9 hour drive, and I don't know if it was better or worse than the first time. So yeah, it was still hard. And that was all that happened in our trip to California. I now kind of think that I should have vlogged, but at the same time I feel so awkward vlogging in front of people. Just talking to a camera in front of people is just awkward to me still. So I was like, I want to do it, but I don't want to do it at the same time. So I ended up just enjoying and not filming or worrying about anything. And I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a like and make sure to subscribe, because I will see you next time. Bye bye.